Welcome! You have found us. My name is Robin, and I'm here with my husband Joseph and my dear friend Faye to share a little bit about how sustainable love in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and all over the world is changing lives. I also want to share with you how we got to become an organization that is focusing on not just healing, but building a community that's focused on personal responsibility, coming from your wholeness, and literally creating the new paradigm of living in harmony with our authentic nature and earth. I'm so excited to be here today after all of the changes that are happening in our culture. Our organization has actually gotten stronger. The focus of sustainable love really started when Joseph and I met, and we realized that we had a lot of personal healing to do in our own families and with each other as we began to raise our children. And so as practitioners together, when we met, we recognized that our skills and our tools were really needed, and we formed a community of healers with different modalities to really work through trauma. But we discovered one thing, even though we were coming from different backgrounds, that's love and holding self-love and love for the client became the healing energy way more than any technique, way more than whether we were an acupuncturist or a naturopath or a massage therapist. And with my background as having 2 counseling degrees, all of that was great. But the energy of love and true unity with the client became the healing magnificence that allowed each person to become their own healer. So after years and years of practicing, we decided to create a structure of teaching the healing process that we had developed for over 20 years. And that became what's known as soul alchemy. And there's so many processes and techniques and tools that we now have been training our youth and many beautiful people to do in their own lives when they have had trauma, or they want to heal with their families, or they want to resolve the deepest low self-esteem that has kept them from their career dreams. Whatever someone's vision is, we have processes and techniques and tools that support someone to have that breakthrough. And out of that, we recognized we were forming community groups that wanted to play together, artists that wanted to create together, business people that wanted to create new business ideas. And so we're now at a time, with Faye's help and so many other people's help, that we're creating a community of peer helpers. And I'm so excited you found us, because we're not only doing healing work, but we're building rapport with all these different organizations through our authentic nature, allowing each person to feel supported in their dreams and bring that to community. And I especially love all the young, beautiful young adults that are tired of the old systems. They're bringing their magnificence and their determination to create the new world. And it has inspired me and inspired Joseph and so many others to create training programs that really support what we need at this time. Courage, determination, building the new way. So I want to open the floor for you, dear, to share a little bit.
Okay, thank you, Robin. I'm Joseph, and when Robin and I started the roots of sustainable love 18 or so years ago, we were interested in a couple of things. One was, we knew that you couldn't teach anything that you hadn't experienced. So we wanted to spread the word of what we'd experienced personally in our healing work and with the different clients that came in. And also we wanted to make sure that we only used techniques that worked, and we threw everything else out. So it's been a process over almost 2 decades. And what we've attracted now are a number of brilliant practitioners who've joined us and are carrying on the tradition. And as we go into the next decade, into the 21s plus, sustainable love is morphing as the people joining us change the dynamics of the organization. So it's changed significantly from even where we thought it was going to go into something even more wonderful. So I'm really happy to have been part of the initiation of this whole process. and love where it's going.
Thank you so much.
I'm Faye, and my late husband and I came into this work, around 10 years ago. And we were healing our family patterns. You know, I came from a family where you couldn't speak and you weren't allowed to voice your needs or to state your opinion. There was abuse. There was a lot of limiting aspects to my childhood in ways that I learned to be safe. And my husband Patrick, in his childhood, his teachers said, oh, he's dyslexic, he can't learn, he's this, he's that. He had all these labels put on him. He was just a creative, and they didn't understand him. So our childhood patterns came into our marriage, and we were married quite a few years, 40 years before we met Joseph and Robin. So it was time, those patterns weren't working anymore. we had evolved, but we were like, roar. So through the profound healing processes that Robin and Joseph developed that heal not just the emotional body, but the soul and the spiritual aspect of us, the soul and body healing together was fully present, and the commitment was so deep and so strong, and we were able to transmute and transform so many of those wounded places in us that we were just profoundly changed. And then over time we said, hey, you really need to look at the potential of bringing this to others in a way of developing an organization to teach and to hold events for people to come and experience this, because I wasn't aware of any modality that had this approach that was so successful. So here I am today, the director, and our beautiful staff has grown, and so I'm just thrilled to be a part of this community that is growing, that I feel so safe, and I continue my evolution, and I have found my soul family here to be able to do this work for myself and to help others. So I'm just blessed. So we have other people who have joined our staff, our beautiful staff, these amazing souls who are also committed to their own self-love and involvement and are part of the organization.
I'm so happy you get to meet everyone. So who wants to start?
I will. Yeah. I'm Beth, and I came to this work and found Robin and Joseph when I was seeking a spiritual solution, not pollution, but it felt like pollution. My life felt like heavy pollution, actually. It was because I had deep wounding from satanic ritual abuse. And so I went through many healing processes and discovered that the healer is within me. And that's probably the core empowering feature of this work. And I have continued with this work. I've written a book to help describe my journey, but my journey continues because I have family members, my children, my sister, who are willing to enter into this work. And so it still continues and continues to be powerful. The journey never ends, and the beauty of this is that I'm in a community now. I am so supported, and I feel safe that I have people that love me and accept me for the horrific journey that I've been on, but that is one that I'm learning how to live with joy.
So I'm inspired to jump in on that one because what I'm hearing in Beth is this stops with me thing, which I came to this work only about 3 years ago, and because I sensed there was an unconscious place in me that was so frustrated with not being able to be in intimacy in my relationships with my husband, my children, my family itself. My family is very much a tradition of being seen and not heard, to keep emotions stifled and away from, not to bother people with your emotions. And it just felt suppressed and stifling and awful. And I really wanted to know myself at a much deeper level and to be able to share so much more of myself that I was hiding from the world. And I think the crux of this work for me is, yes, I could have done a ton of meditation, which I did, but that was always kind of taking me away from here and my heart and knowing myself better within my own heart, where I was hurting. And this work really is terrifying because it forces you to absolutely accept those places in you that are fearful, that are compromised. It's the most freeing tool I've ever experienced in terms of really feeling. I can honestly say now that I wake up in the day and I feel happy and joyful to be in the world, whereas before I was anxious. I didn't really know where I was meant to be, who I was meant to be. So it's an incredible journey of deconditioning of old, past conditioning, of whether it's cultural, familial, whatever it is, whether, I was my own worst enemy by far. And now I'm starting to be my best friend.
Yeah. Thank you, Allegra.
I'll jump in on this. I'm Tyler, and I came to this work about 3 years ago. And at that time, I was just discovering what I felt love was, and was really ungrounded, and was struggling with some addictions, and didn't have a meaningful partnership that I felt safe in or good about. And I met Robin, and we started doing the healing work together. And over the last 3 years, a lot has changed in my life. A lot of abundance has come in. I feel like I'm living as the man that I always knew I was, but I couldn't access. I feel a deep level of integrity and trust with my community members, a balance of masculine and feminine energies working together within my heart. So many things have blossomed for me in this work. And I chose to step up as a staff member, as the Chief Technology Officer, and to lend my tech skills to this organization. And so I'm very, very grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler.
And I can jump on that. My name is Chelsea Stewart, and I found this work about 1.5 years, almost 2 years ago, which is so hard to believe. It's literally feels like years and years ago, because you guys are my family, my soul family. And I was seeking so deeply for sovereignty. I was in a relationship where it was really initiating me to learn about spiritual manipulation and the false, twisted light. The New Age movement is such a big thing in the spiritual community right now, and I was deeply involved in that, and I really wanted to get sovereign. And I met Robin in that point of my life where I was just so at rock bottom, where it's just like, what the heck do I do? Like, I know that there's more, but what do I do? And through my desire, Robin shows up, and we get on a phone call. We get on a phone call when I'm in the front of a big old tire, getting my tires shifted, and she just like speaking straight to my soul. And at the time, I knew I was a soul. I knew I was here for much, much more. And she saw me. She just was like, I see you. And so that really, really catalyzed me to start doing this work. And through doing the work, I started to understand more that I was limiting myself from experiencing the wholeness of who I was. I was polarized in different aspects of myself as a being, and I was polarized in my soul and different parts of my soul, and I wanted to experience myself as my body and my personality and all the different parts of my soul. And so that just has been so beautiful, being on this journey and not doing it alone, because that was one of my deepest wounds, is that I don't belong here on the planet, period, or my family, my race line, any of it. And now to be in a family with such diversity, everyone's experience is so different and so rich, and to then be here and share my story and who I am, it literally has created a whole new imprint that I do belong here. So I'm just feeling so grateful to now be on the staff as a community connector, being a bridge to other communities, and really just pulling in also different things that we need in our community to create more wholeness. So yeah, this is me, and so grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Thanks, Jess.
Yeah.
And hi, I'm Haley. So I started this work when I was in middle school, so I've been doing this work a while, and I never really realized how much I didn't feel connected to the world around me until I joined this community. And that was really hard growing up, because I lived in a place where everyone viewed our family as so beautiful and the picture of what raising children was supposed to be, and they put my parents in this, they're the best parents, and all the while I was looking at how I was feeling and it didn't match any of it. And it felt really hard to be in a family that would project something that didn't match my experience. And when I would express that, I was labeled as a problem. I know we've all felt something like that. So, and then after a while, I heard it so much I started to believe it. So a lot of my journey has been coming out of the lies that I believed in order to fit into my family unit, because I so desperately wanted to belong. So being here in this community, I felt finally really safe to show parts of me I wasn't sure I could hold, to be honest about how I feel, where I'm at, and a lot of other, really too many to count. Too many different parts of me, too many different experiences that didn't make any sense, reactions of mine that made no sense. I finally feel like I can stand here and say I am as unified as I've ever been. And as an administrator, I help keep the unity of information. I help organize the content of what we've got, and I help coordinate. I also read tarot and do body work and assist in some very intense procedures that we do to further the healing work. So I truly finally feel like I belong in a community that really cares, and I would like to extend the invitation, if that's what you're looking for, please come find us, say hi.
Well, it looks
Yeah.
it looks like you have found us. Somewhere, your soul is craving this work, and I just wanted to mention, because I did not, that I'm a program developer as well as a coach, a mentor, and a guide in terms of supporting Robin and the whole team. So yeah, we're all working together.
And I also do healing work.
Yes, me too. I am a
Yes.
spiritual coach.
And that's one of the things that's so amazing, is we're here to give the experience and the healing and the coaching that we've all had specific medicine in. So as someone comes and trains with us, it's their own healing that they embody, that they specialize in, and helping other. Tyler working with people with addictions on the internet and video games and all sorts of topics that young men are going through. Chelsea's working to help different cultural young women come into their bodies and have self-respect and self-love. Sexual healing is a huge part of our work. So what I'm sharing with you right now is that whatever you're going through is a universal challenge. And we have people more than this that are learning how to be practitioners, to coach, to keep building experiences together that help the whole of us stay connected to what sustains love in our bodies. And eventually what we're seeing is that if we can do that here, we're going to be able to create a culture that keeps influencing healing on this earth. And that, in the harmony with our beautiful Mother Nature, is our greatest dream. And so I hope that this has served you to understand who we are. And please, we have 30-minute free consultations. Look online on our beautiful material about practitioner. You can sign up for a 30-minute consultation and just keep exploring and seeing if we can support you in any way. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you guys.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
That was pretty
Pretty
good.
good for a first take.
Wow.
Dang.
I think that's the take.
Wow.
I think that's it.
I do too.
No, I do. I think
That was amazing.
that was really good.
I didn't mention what I